Yo, I am the first one today. As of June 2nd, 2025, I am the first person to mention this. Let's get on into it, bro. The curse. You may be asking yourself, what is the curse? Well, let me tell you. It is the curse that has harmed Harry Kane's career a little bit. The trophyless curse. Now, just listen, just wait, and just listen. We obviously know this curse, Harry Kane was the old owner. As you can see in the picture, he has won the Bundesliga. He has the trophy that he's been desperately looking for. Look at him all happy there. What a great guy. Anyways, this video is not about him. It is about who the new curse has now passed on to. And I present to you Bukayo Saka. Yes, he is the new owner. Now, I know you're asking questions, but he already won the FA Cup. How can he be the new owner when he was still trophyless? Kane was still trophyless, and he was trophyless then too. Look, just calm down. Realize that curses don't make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. They're not set in patterns. Curses can happen anytime, anywhere. Anything can go on with curses. It's not supposed to be like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Maybe it can be 1. Maybe it can be 1, 4, 12, 69, 93, 94, 127. It doesn't have to be in specific order, but he is the new curse. Ever since the FA Cup, which he did not partake in, he didn't play in, he hasn't won anything. And I'm starting to look at some of his defeats, and there's like, well, hold on. Harry Kane had some of these similar defeats like Saka with Arsenal when Kane was at Spurs. I want to show you something. Now look. Let's talk about the Champions League and Europa League runs. They have recently started getting back into the Champions League. They got smashed up against Bayern Munich, who didn't even win the competition, and they lost this year to PSG, who won it. Demolished Inter 5-0. That right there, it just, look, if they had beat PSG, they probably could have beat Inter Milan. Not by 5 goals, but I'm telling you, if they could have scored 2 goals against Inter Milan, they're going to park the bus and potentially win the game probably 3-0. But let's go to the Europa League now too. Round of 16 against Sporting CP. They lost to Sporting CP on pens. I think Bruno Fernandes, Bruno Fernandes came to the club in like 2020, so he was gone there since. And these guys talked about our Europa League run. This is not a video on Spurs, this is a video on Arsenal. They lost to Sporting CP. They lost to Villarreal in the semifinals. Mind you, this Villarreal team was around 12th place or maybe 14th at the time in La Liga. 1-2, and they lost to their former manager Unai Emery. First season, they sacked him. Unai Emery. First full season, might I add. So they're not good in Europe, but ooh, my camera's in the way. Hold on. There you go. Semifinals, round of 16. Now look, they're not historically good in Europe. So we cannot blame them here for this. We know they're not historically good in Europe. Their best ever cup in Europe was the Cup Winners' Cup, which every team has already won that, and it doesn't exist anymore. But then fine. We don't want to give them champions in Europa League? Fine. Let's go on to the Premier League now. Look where they have finished for the last 3 seasons. Second place, second place, second place. How have you managed to finish second place 3 times in a row like that? You can't get over the line. Mind you, 2023, 2024, they were in first place for majority of the season. I think it was above 87% of the season they were in first, and they bottled it. Absolutely bottled it. I'm talking about the elephant was up here, came down, my finger. Look, so each season has its own reason. Sure, let's add, Saka was pretty much getting game time from the 2020-2021 season. 2021-22 season. Fine, we don't have to count those ones. I know Arsenal fans, you probably don't want to count those ones. Oh, we weren't even challenging this and that and that. That's fine. We don't have to contest those ones. But even here, I can say 2021-2022, it was a battle for top 4, and you guys ended up losing that to Spurs. To the mighty Spurs, the Europa League winners. They didn't win it at this time, but still. We don't have to count those ones though. Oh, these 3 seasons, sure, I know some of them are going to say, well, 2022, 2023, it was unexpected, so even getting second place was an accomplishment. Alright, cool. These last 2 seasons, they should have, I'm not going to say they should have won as a Spurs fan, but these 2 are absolutely bottles. First off, let's speak with 2023, 2024. How in what world can you go 87% and lose it to City? That is absurd. 87% of the season, first place, they blew it. Let's go to this season. You lost the league to a new manager, Arne Slot. who came from Feyenoord in the Eredivisie. They weren't supposed to be here. So when you say these things like, oh, 2022, 2023, it's our first season, nobody expected us to do this. Well, guess what? Nobody expected Liverpool to win the Premier League, and guess what happened? They won it. Nobody expected Crystal Palace to win the FA Cup. Guess what? They won it. But you know what? Let's not get to the FA Cup. Now let's get to it. Look at this. Look at this. Let me move my camera. I don't have to keep turning it on and off. FA Cup and Carabao Cup. Let's start off with the FA Cup. They have done poor. They haven't got to the 5th round. I don't know if the 5th round is considered the quarterfinals or semifinals. The way they have it marked here is weird. But they haven't been to the 5th round once under Arteta. Not once have they been to it. Now, yeah, they won the FA Cup. I know this. But that was Unai Emery's FA Cup. Let's just be honest. Throwing that FA Cup out of the way, they haven't been to it once the 5th round. 3rd, 4th round exits. They lost this year to a poor Man United side. Even we beat them in the final. And they lost to them? Because they didn't have Saka. Their golden boy. They didn't have Saka. You know what? They didn't have Saka. This video is about Saka. Fair enough. But look, even when we lost some cups, Harry Kane came back injured from the UCL, played in the final. They still counted it, so I'm still going to count it here. They lost to Man United. Absolutely crazy. No way should that be happening. Last year, they lost to Liverpool 2-0. I'm pretty sure they were at home. No, I don't know if they were at home. They lost to Liverpool, lost to Man City, lost to Forest. Mind you, in this time, they weren't even a Premier League side. They were in the Championship. They got cooked by our own Jed Spence. How do you lose to a Championship team like that? 1-0. You couldn't find it in your heart to at least get one goal to maybe go to penalties. And then they lost to Southampton. But I'm pretty sure Danny Ings, he was cold this season. But still, you lost to Southampton and you lost to Forest. Back-to-back seasons. Come on, guys. Let's step it up. Saka, I need you to step your game up. Semi-final. In the Carabao Cup, they lose to Newcastle. They didn't even try to score against them. That's what, pretty much, they didn't try to score against them. I mean, yeah, the Newcastle ended up winning the whole thing, but they still had to play the Premier League winners in the final. Mind you, they hadn't won a trophy in over 71 years. So when Arsenal said they weren't expected to do this, I always think in my mind, Newcastle, Liverpool this season, Crystal Palace. I will even throw in Spurs there. Nobody expected us to win these things. And guess what happened? We won things. We won these things. They lost in the 4th round to West Ham United. West Ham United. These little pesky ants that want to claim rivalries with Spurs. They lost to them. They then lose last season, the season before that to Brighton. Before that to Liverpool. Before that they lose it to Man City. Man, it's like Man City and Liverpool completely own Arsenal in these cups. It's crazy. Saka, what have you been doing this whole entire time? You're the star of this team. This is your team. They build around you. What have you been doing? Next, let's go to the English national team, where this idea really came into my head. You have the Euro 2020. This is Saka's first big international tournament with England. What did he go and do? He missed. He missed a penalty that went on. No, did he miss it or did he? No, he saved it. Donnarumma saved the easy penalty off of Bukayo Saka. I have now cut myself. Nice. He went on to save a penalty. Rashford ended up missing, and I think Sterling ended up missing too. I remember it was 3 black players from England. They were getting racially abused online, and we don't stand for that. Screw all those people that are racially abusing Saka. Screw all of you guys. But look, Saka missed it. Now I know he's new to the tournament and everything, but that doesn't give any right to miss a penalty. Euro 2020. One of the players that threw it away from them. I don't care how old he was. You are still a player of that team and you stepped up. Euro 2024. Now this one I recently just forgot about. I was kind of surprised. They made it to the final again. And they lost. Did Saka score this game? No, it was Cole Palmer. Saka, what were you doing? Why has younger Cole Palmer scored before you have in this final? What were you doing this game? And now let's go on to World Cup 2022. Everyone everyone was blaming Kane from this. Everyone was blaming Kane for this defeat. Saying, what was Kane doing? Kane bottled, he threw away the penalty. Hold on. He threw away the penalty. But let me just ask you this. Who was the only one to score from England? Who was the only one? Who was the only one, bro? Who was the only one to score in this game? That's damn right, Harry Kane. where was Saka once again? Because he was a little more established. Where was Saka? And I like this too. People want to blame this guy Kane for throwing it away because he missed a penalty. He has to go up against a goalie that knows how he takes penalties. Hugo Lloris. But again, Saka didn't do anything that game. I like to just say this. The trophy list curse has now found Saka. It has been in full effect since 2020. I know it was with Harry Kane too, but again, curses do not make sense. I am the first to say this. As of June 2nd, 2025. You heard it here first.